Hello everybody and welcome back to this video. So in this video we're going to be talking about how to find limits from tables. And this is KhanAcademy.org, a great website. I recommend you use it yourself. And so the function f is defined over the real numbers. This table gives a few values of f. And we see the table here. And the question, what is a reasonable estimate for the limit of f of x as x approaches 5? So we see this is 4.9, 4.99, and 4.999. And this is 5.1, 5.01, and 5.001. So we would place 5 around here on the table. But we don't know the value for it. So as x is 4.9, 4.99, 4.999, this is getting closer and closer to 5. So y starts out at negative 4.64. So starts off kind of on the, so this is inaccurate graph. But this is, let's say, again, inaccurate, but 4.9, 4.99, 4.999, and 5.01, 5.001, and 5.1. So, let's say negative 4.64 would be around here. Again, this is inaccurate. And as 4.99, y gets lower, So this would be a little bit lower on here. And as it's x is 4.999. It seems to be getting pretty close to 5, but again it would be lower. And from the other side, 5.001. So this would be like at 5.01. That's what y would be, and that's pretty close to negative 5. So these seem really close to each other. They're only like 2/100ths away from each other. And this is kind of still going down, 5.01 going down, and going down. So it kind of looks in a bit like a continuous line. Again, this is inaccurate, but it looks like a continuous line. And since we see that this is, really close, obviously, this is approaching, this is kind of getting lower from this side, and this is getting higher from this side. So you see that they're kind of approaching each other as they get closer to 0. Which will lead the answer to be negative 5. For the next problem, the function f is defined over the real numbers. This table gives select values of f. What is a reasonable estimate for the limit of f of x as x approaches 6? So we see 6 is here. Okay. And this one's pretty simple because we see as x approaches 6, and as x is approaching 6, what does 6 equal? 6 equals 0.2, so you think, okay, that would be the answer. But it's not the answer, because this is not as x equals 6, this is x approaching 6. So if we get x approaching 6, so this is all approaching 6, this is all approaching 6. And this, just by looking at it, you can tell that it's kind of a graph. So this is just inaccurate. So if you have this here, it would kind of look something like this. And then there'd be a gap right here, and 6 would be down here. So that's what it would look like. So it's not x equals 6, x is approaching 6. And we see here that on the table, y is getting closer. It's 4.19, then 4.18. And from the other side, 4.2, 4.19, 4.18. So we see that even it's 2/100ths apart. They're both approaching 4.17. So that would be the answer. And that's correct. And for the next question, the function g is defined over the real numbers. This table gives a few values of g. What is a reasonable estimate for the limit of g of x as x approaches negative 2? And on the graph, negative 2 would go like right here. So as x equals negative 2.1, negative 2.01, negative 2.001, it looks to be approaching 8, because it starts from 9. Starts from 8 point, then it goes to 8.23, 8.02. So 8.2 is the last value we see, and wow, that's pretty close to 8. And 8 is also one of the answers. And from the other side, negative 1.9, 1.99, 1.999. Starts from 8.97, 8.15, and 8.03. And wow, this also seems to be approaching 8. And 8 is one of the answers, so this would be the answer. That's correct. And for the last problem, the function g is defined over the real numbers. This table gives a few values of g, and here we see the table. What is a reasonable estimate for the limit of g of x as x approaches negative 8? So negative 8 would go here. Oh, sorry for that. It would go here. And negative 8.1, negative 8.01, negative 8.001, negative 7.999, negative 7.99, and negative 7.9. So it starts at negative 0.14, negative 0.09, negative 0.02. So this looks like to be getting close to 0. And from this side, negative 0.11, negative 0.07, negative 0.01 also seems to be approaching 0. So we check if that's the answer, and it is. Thank you for watching this video.